So, forming and solving equations then. So yes, we are looking at algebra. However, it's not as difficult as what it may seem. I've got a triangle here, okay? Standard question. They've given us the lengths of each side as algebra, and they've told us what the perimeter is. Okay, they've told us it's 34 centimeters. But we need to know what the perimeter is, as in how we work out the perimeter of a shape, before we can form and solve the equation. Now, perimeter is when we add up all the sides of the shape. So let's look at an expression first, okay? Be careful with the words. An expression is where we do not have an equal sign. Okay, so the expression for the perimeter would be 2x, add 2x, add 10. We can simplify to have 4x plus 10, where I've just collected the like terms. This is an expression because it has no equal sign. To make it an equation, we need to put equals and then an answer. So to make this an equation, we have 4x plus 10 equals 34. Now we could solve the equation to find the value of x. Use the inverse operation to solve. So we subtract 10 to make 24. So 4x equals 24. Eliminate the 4 by dividing by 4, which means that x equals 6. So the expression for the perimeter is 4x plus 10. The equation for the perimeter would be the expression equaling the perimeter which they've given you in the question. Then to solve, we've used our inverse operations to find the value of the x. We could use that to calculate the length of each side if we wanted to. If it's asking for it in the question, they've used a bit of substitution. Well, if x is 6, then 2x's must be 12. So if this is 12, this is 12, this is 24, add the 10, it's 34. So a bit of substitution there if the question is asking for it. So that's perimeter. Let's look at area. So before we even go any further, we need to know how to calculate the area of a rectangle, which is the width times the length, or the length times the width. Okay, we need to multiply these two together. So we are going to form the equation by having 3 multiplied by x plus 4. Okay, now that looks complicated, and I'll be honest with you, we don't use this sort of expression as it is. Okay, the next step we need to use, okay, is to use brackets, which means x plus 4 goes in a bracket, the number goes on the outside. Okay, so that's the algebra skill. When we multiply two expressions together, we use brackets. This is our expression. To make it an equation, we put equals on the end, and then whatever they've given us in the question. Now we solve. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 4 is 12, which equals 36. Subtract 12 to make 24. Divide by 3 to make 8, because 24 divided by 3 is 8. Remember, always show your steps on the side of an equation. So the value of x is 8. Slightly more complicated expressions, but the same principle. Perimeter is the total of all the sides, so we're going to add all of these together. So we've got 3x minus 3, which is this side here, add 2x plus 5, add 4x minus 1. That is an expression, and you would get the mark for writing it as long as that. The question may ask to simplify. So we can simplify by first expanding the bracket. 3x, 3 times x is 3x, 3 times minus 3 is minus 9. And then we've got the rest of these. Remember, we only do one step at a time. Let's simplify. 3x plus 2x plus 4x is 9x. Minus 9, add 5 is minus 4. Take away 1 is minus 5. Okay, remember the number line, use the number line, minus 9, add 5, then take away 1. So this is our expression. However, this here, to make it an equation, we have to make it equal the perimeter which they give us in the question, which is 49. Now it's an equation, which we can solve. Inverse of minus 5 is to add 5, which makes 54. So if 9x is 54, then divide by 9 to make 6. So the value of x is 6. Now that looks complicated, but it's only because we have bigger expressions for each length of the triangle. So write an expression, expand the bracket if you need to, simplify, here's your expression, make an equation by having equals, then solve as normal. One more question which is very common at Gcse. We have these angles here. We need to find the value of x, but I need to know a maths fact, again similar to the other ones, which will help me with this question here. If I add them all together, so if I have x plus 18, add 2x plus 7, add 2x, that is the total of the interior angles of a triangle. Now hopefully you've seen a previous video, or you know from your education before, that the interior angles of a triangle all add up to 180. Okay, so you need to know your maths fact. Look at the question. Oh, we're looking at angles now, so alarm bells should be ringing. Oh, interior angles all at 180. Or if it's perimeter, oh, that's the total when you add up all the sides. Area, oh, that's when you do length times width. These facts you've learned from a very young age need to be at the front of your head, so you know as a mental recall to help you with these more complicated questions. So we had an expression without the equal sign. Now we've got an equation. Now we can solve. But I'm going to simplify first. Let's put the x's together. Well, I've got 5x there. I've got 18 plus 7 is 25. Equals 180. Okay, to solve then, inverse operation, take away 25, which is 155. If you can't do that in your head, don't worry. Do the little column method on the side, and it's easy enough for you. I've now got 5x equals 155. Now to work out how many 5's go into 155, yes, it is quite straightforward. I've got 5's into 15 is 3. 5's into 5 go once. If you couldn't do that in your head, there's no shame in going off to the side and then using the bus stop method. 5's into 1 doesn't go, carry the 1 over. 5's into 15 is 3. 5's into 5 go once. But please don't hide these workings, okay? I see it so often when people write in their hands, or they'll try and go on the back page, or they'll try and go in the corner really small as if they're ashamed of it. You have plenty of room to show these sort of workings, and that's what the space is there for. Please use it. Okay, form the equation, we need to know a fact. Perimeter, add the sides up. Area, especially if it's rectangle, length times width. If it's a triangle like this one, when you look at the angles, the sum of the interior angles added to 180. Know your facts first to form the expression, to make it an equation equals the total, simplify and solve using inverse operations. Good luck, and I hope it helps.